Are there any new cameras?
Are there any new accessories?
We answer these questions every 6 months with a search on the Internet. Unfortunately, we found out that our favorite, the FZ2000, is no longer available on the Panasonic shop.
Our search in the Swiss online stores was also unsuccessful. There are still some for sale in Germany and the USA.
Maybe it's the last chance to get your hands on one, hence this video exclusively for our loyal YouTube visitors. If you are enthusiastic about macro filming or are thinking about starting, then you should consider buying an FZ2000.
Why do we think it is currently the best camera for macro filming?
To get straight to the point, filming or taking photos in macro range are two completely different things. If you are only interested in macro photography, there are YouTubers who know a lot more about it than we do. I'm thinking spontaneously of Michael or Stefan Traumflieger. Visit their channel. I'll link the addresses below.
What are our criteria?
First criterion, no flip screen, no camera. We always film with the sun behind us. We can turn the small monitor away from the sun, which reduces reflections and improves visibility. We can sit on a camping chair and turn the monitor from bottom to top so that it is always in our direction. This prevents unnecessary back pain. It is a touchscreen. The most necessary settings can be made conveniently at the touch of a finger. When the FZ2000 is switched on, the lens length remains constant. With many cameras, including more expensive ones, you have to turn the lens back and forth to zoom, which changes its length. The depth of field changes as a result of the change in length, so you have to readjust the macro slider.
In the meantime, the insect has run away or died of boredom.
There are 3 options for zooming: manually at the front of the ring, with the small zoom lever on the shutter release, zoom automatically at a constant speed using a function button.
Why is zooming with the lever on the shutter release or automatically important?
There are 3 different settings for the speed. It reduces shake. If you have to zoom in at the front of the lens, you often make rapid hand movements and the insect reacts with a reflex flight. Slow movements, but quick reactions are possible with the FZ2000 using the zoom lever on the shutter release.
Or insects wander around on the sheet, or a second insect is added and you want to quickly switch from a large setting to an overview. Then the small zoom lever is just right. There is also the option of using the software zoom. With a good close-up lens, even closer close-ups are possible.
The built-in ND filters are simply great. If the insect on a stalk moves from direct sunlight to the side, the ND filters are automatically switched on depending on the lighting conditions.
And all this without having to screw filters onto the front of the lens. There is also manual switching in 3 stages. Perhaps this is important for photographers.
The start and end of filming can be set to the release button on the rotary dial. There is no need to fumble around blindly for the small red button.
All intelligent settings are helpful and perform very well. For example, the eye dynamics and eye resolution can be switched on, as can the eye zoom.
When filming in the macro range, it is extremely important that the camera reliably makes all the important settings itself in high quality and quickly. This is because the videographer is fully occupied with tracking the insect and constantly adjusting the distance for the correct depth of field. There is really no time to think about aperture, ND filter, ESO, and the like, or even to make any adjustments.
The FZ2000 does an excellent job here. You can trust it. The quick changeover from automatic focus to manual focus is also important. The lever is in exactly the right place and is easy to operate with the thumb.
We normally work with manual focus. The FZ2000 also offers the option of coloring everything that is in focus blue or red on the small monitor. As my eyes are no longer the best, this setting is indispensable for me.
If the insect moves back and forth on the flower, the eye autofocus is indispensable. You can simply mark the desired focus area on the small monitor with a tap of your finger, and the camera will then track it automatically. This point is always automatically kept in the correct focus. This makes it possible to track the insect with the tripod. The height has to be adjusted. You have to move laterally and possibly enlarge or reduce the image section. In other words, zoom in or out. The automatic focus tracking does all this automatically. It does this without pumping, very quickly and reliably.
A real help for us. Other cameras, even expensive versions, are often only able to reliably track one eye or one face. The FZ2000 simply tracks everything that has been marked.
Our FZ2000 is often exposed to the blazing sun. For hours on end, it gets extremely hot. The hot shoe should no longer be touched, and it didn't even go on strike. Brave as she is, she put up with everything and still delivered the most beautiful pictures.
She has also fallen onto the concrete floor once. She survived without a murmur. By the way, if you want to know which close-up lens we use, here is the description on the lens. It is an achromat lens. We do not know the magnification. We suspect a +5. We have, of course, also tested all other close-up lenses, such as Hoya, Nisi, Raynox, etc. None were as good as this one. It was one of the cheapest. We found them by chance on Amazon.
It is also worth mentioning that the battery compartment is easy to reach at the bottom of the camera. If you have a small quick-release plate, you don't have to remove the camera from the tripod to change the battery. The memory card is inserted from the side and can therefore be changed very quickly and easily.
There are, of course, many more plus points that could be mentioned. But we would just like to say, if you want to shoot in the macro range, I wouldn't hesitate any longer. Take a look at a few more examples and judge for yourself.
Even without a close-up lens, the camera is awesome.
Of course, it also takes very good photos, bracketing, post-focus, continuous shooting, a very good stabilizer, and much more are included. Of course, you can also set everything manually or select from various preset scenes.
By the way, if you decide to purchase an FZ2000, please remember to order the necessary number of spare batteries, a suitable charger, and the close-up lens. It would be a shame if you were missing any of these accessories.
Oh yes, our two FZ2000s are now 8 years old. They have both filmed thousands of hours and must have taken more than 60,000 photos, without a murmur, always with great joy and enthusiasm. We hope we have been useful to you.
That's it.
Until later.
Until then.